Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zoom Into Wine. It's time for the show and your host, Ian Blackburn. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ian Blackburn. We've got a few more seconds before 7 o'clock, but I just wanted to tune in and welcome everyone and watch people come on board and join us. I started to learn about wine in 1995 as a way to educate myself, as my journey in wine was really kind of beginning there. I was a sommelier in the top restaurants, working for chefs like Thomas Keller and Joachim Splechal, and I started then working for a wine distributor, working my way through the wine world, but there wasn't really a place to learn about wine. So I wanted to get that started and share what I was privy to, and it's taken me all over the world, and we've been able to host over 1 million people at our different events, tastings, classes, and it's really been a fantastic run. We're now in close to our 25th year, and we pivoted to Zoom during the pandemic, but I really think it's great because I can Zoom with friends in the Napa Valley, Sonoma County, you guys up in Santa Clara. We've got friends high, far, near, wide, up near the coast. Denise, thanks for joining us tonight. We've got some really nice folks here, so I want to welcome you all, and I hope you have a good time learning about this special place. And I know I'm going to learn a lot and really enjoy it. I tasted the wines. I put them in order. We're going to start with the Martin Ranch Malbec, beautiful Malbec, and then we're going to go to the Clos La Chance Reserve Grenache, and then we'll finish up with the Cabernet from Satori. And we've got a really nice show with all the winemakers and winery owners on the Zoom tonight. So I hope you guys have a lot of questions that they can answer for you. And we're also live on Facebook. I'll be looking back over there to see if there's any questions on our Facebook page. But I want to thank you guys for joining us, and I'll take everybody off mute for a second to say hi as we get started here. Jason Moore, you got your wine? All right, I'll hit that button there. How's that?
There we go. Hey, bud, how are you doing? Yeah, thanks. I just got it. So.
All right. Cool. Good. I'm glad it got connected with you. Hi, Dan. Hi, Jason. Hi, Michael. Hi, Denise. Who's that guy right next to you? How you doing, buddy?
Okay, and yourself?
Good, man. Good to see you both.
Yes. Thanks for having us.
Glad you could be there. We've got the good folks from Martin Ranch and David. Thank you. Pleasure. Hi, Betty Martin. And Betty, you're sitting with a friend. Christy, how are you doing? I can't hear you, but you're looking good. Eric.
There we go. Hello.
You guys just happen to have the same last name?
No.
Me?
Me?
Betty
No.
Martin says on
Betty
the,
Martin and Christine Purcell.
There we go.
You know me.
Is Betty Martin a Martin Ranch?
Oh gosh,
Oh, that
absolutely.
All right. That's what we're talking about. All right. Eric Trepanier. Did I do that justice? Is it French?
Maybe.
Uh-oh. I might have muted you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
It is French, yes.
Yes, it is French. We're Canadian. We moved to California in 2017. And we live here in Morgan Hill, in the beautiful region area of Santa Clara Valley. So,
Sounds fantastic to me. And how warm is it up there today?
oh, it's beautiful. It's, I don't know, maybe high 60s still, or mid 60s at least.
Yeah,
It
I think it
got
was
close to 80 today.
Yeah, I was touching high 80s here in LA today, I hear. I work in the wine room. It's about 55 degrees here all day long. I'm freezing my butt off, but
It was cooler in the house than outside. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
all right. Lisa, thanks for joining us. Are you up in Northern Cal with Mom? That's Lisa Test.
Yes, I am up here with Mom.
All right. How far away are you from Santa Clara Valley?
Close, like 20 minutes.
Very good. Very good.
Close.
Wow, really pulls it all together. Really nice. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We've got some nice wines to try tonight, and I've got a little PowerPoint presentation, so we'll get started with Martin Ranch. And welcome, Martin Ranch. How are you guys?
Take yourself off mute.
Yeah, let's take them off mute. And let's mute everybody else. There we go. I got to ask you to unmute one more time. And now I'm going to spotlight you.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. How's that looking?
Good. Are
Good
we
so
unmuted?
far.
Let's see. Are we
You
unmuted?
are. You sound
Okay,
good
great.
too.
All right.
Okay.
How's it going up there today?
Oh, beautiful day.
Excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
Me too. Me too. Thank you so much. I've driven through your neighborhood on a number of occasions and made a couple of wine stops over the time, but I felt like it was a little I really don't know a lot about the wine region, and I'd love to learn anything that you guys have to add to the equation. So please tell us a little story about how you got started and give us any data that you want to give us.
Okay, well, I'm Therese Martin, my husband, Dan
Dan.
Martin. I'm going to have Dan talk a little bit about how we got started, and we'll just kind of navigate through and talk a little bit about the wine after that. So go
Okay.
ahead, Dan.
Well, we got married in '92 and decided to change direction a little bit and planted a vineyard in '93. We have 6 different varieties of grapes that we grow here, but 75% of what we grow is Cabernet. For those that are viticulturists and interested in vineyards, we're on a lyre trellis system planted in a north-south direction on 110 rootstocks. Our Cabernet is clone 4, 7, and 8. We have been making wine as a hobby since early 93, 94, and built the winery in 2002. We started off in a 4-car garage and worked in that garage for 4 years before building the winery in 2005.
Is this a picture of your winery there?
Yes.
Yeah,
So this is the beginning of our drive. You come down when you are in where our winery is. You drive up a beautiful 3.6 mile trees covered, a beautiful redwoods, and then you get to our beginning of our driveway. You come up this area. The Santa Clara Valley was established. I mean, it's one of the oldest viticulture regions, but most of the wineries have just recently come on in about the last 15 years, but there were some early comers in the late 80s. We came on the scene growing grapes, as Dan said, in 1993, and then we started our winery, which is right here. We started selling our grapes commercially in 2005. We became a bonded winery in 2002. So we are actually in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but we purchase a lot of our grapes from the local Santa Clara Valley growers around us. And we've been working with the grower, Simone Lemos, who grows this Malbec for about 14 years now. And we've been making the Malbec since 2008. And so it is a Santa Clara Valley Malbec. It has been one of our most award-winning wines. And you will find in this region that we have a lot of very small vineyards. And so a lot of the wineries are purchasing small lots, and we're able to produce small, limited production, single varietal wines. And so that's what we have done with this Malbec. We have a Acre Pond, which is right here, that we use for our irrigation. And I'll let Dan tell you a little bit about that.
So of course we're on drip. Our lower vineyard has been able to get its own water for the last 20 years, so we don't water that vineyard. But the upper vineyard has a different soil type and requires that it's watered. So we use the pond for watering normally starting in early June.
So one of the things that we find really exciting about being in this region is that, you know, we have a small collective in comparison to a lot of these other wine regions. I believe right now we probably have, I think, almost 30 wineries in the Santa Clara region, wineries of Santa Clara Valley, that are within, I would say, San Jose, southern tip of the Santa Cruz Mountains, like the foothills. And there's a really great camaraderie that we find within these wineries that is nice when you're working with a small region and you're able to share you know, information, just like doing this Zoom call. It's been really great because, you know, we've worked with Clos Chance for many, many years. We are very familiar with Satori and know them very well, and have been able to watch these different wineries grow and get to where they're at. So when you work in an industry like that and you have the ability to share information, I think it just makes for a much more unified area. And so being a part of that has been really great.
I bet. That's cool.
So that's about Martin Ranch. We're a small winery. Oh, we produce about 5,300 cases, and we also produce 13 different varietals besides the Malbec. And I don't want to forget, if indeed anybody's interested, we are going to have a coupon code that they will be able to use, and I will be able to send out to everybody, so that if they're interested in experimenting and trying any of the other wines, we want to give them the opportunity and the incentive to do so with a nice coupon code after this Zoom.
Great. What is that coupon code? I'll put it in the chat box right now.
It is, I will look it up right now. It is.
And by the way, at the end of the presentation, we always send out a little recap email, and we'll jot it into that email as well. So we're encouraging everybody tonight to buy the wine straight from the wineries. And these are smaller producers, and they want to be able to get to know you too.
I got it. So yeah. It's MRW SCV 10.
MRW SCV 10.
Yes, and that also includes a shipping incentive.
All right, cool.
So thanks everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying the wine, and it's always great to be able to share this wine with everybody because it's one of my favorites.
Well, beautifully done. Someone is trying to reach me. Oh, you don't get to talk to me now. But I love the idea that you made a Malbec, and I'm really on this Malbec thing right now, a California Malbec thing. I'm seeing Malbec planted in Alexander Valley and in Napa Valley and now here, and they're all beautiful, and they have a real nice purity of fruit, and there's just some I think this grape variety's really kind of jumped up and caught my interest again. I mean, I've of course been to Argentina many times and tasted a lot of great Malbecs there, and some wines from Cahors in France, where a lot of people might, you know, reference it as the original Malbec or so. But I really think that the California style is really polished, and that fruit orientation and that ripeness and that color. It's all really, really beautiful.
Well, thanks. I really like making this wine because you can really get the color and the depth of flavor with this particular vineyard because we've been working with it for so long. So it's exciting for me because I enjoy it because it's so approachable and it's not a real heavy tannin that you feel in the mouthfeel. So I find that a lot of people that are just getting used to drinking bigger reds can enjoy this as kind of an entry level into a bigger red because it is so smooth.
And what do you smell when you taste smell and taste your wine? What type of notes would you want to point out here?
Well, what I find is, because I use French oak with this, so the French oak for me is a nice, it gives that vanilla and that smoothness, but there's also a lot of like a blueberry and blackberry, and I do find that for me, there tends to be a little bit of there's a slight bit of cinnamon in it, but it's towards the end, and it's just, it just has a nice, that nice mouthfeel with some tannin from the oak, but generally I do get some, and I do get some stone fruit from it, but it's not a pruny stone fruit. It's more of like a plum that's a darker plum.
Yeah, and it's really, I like how balanced it is. I like how it's more of a prettier style of Malbec, where some try to punish you with tannins and grit. This has got a really good balance between kind of the minerality and the fruit, and some nice polish there with the wood, and just feels really good in the mouth, like you said. I think it's really pretty, really well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What does that bottle run?
This is a $42 bottle of wine.
Excellent. And do you guys have, with all those different grape varieties that you're planting, are you guys doing like a lot of wine clubs?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm forgetting about all of that wonderful information. Yes, we do have a wine club. We've had a wine club for about 11 years now. And on our website, we have it set up so that you're able to review and see what is actually available. We have a 3, a 6, and a 12, and we send out 4 times a year. January, April, July, and October. So we actually, during COVID, I have to say it was the saving grace with our wine club. And we're really, really privileged to have such great support locally. And we also have, out of state, but we have we're not a huge winery. So it's not something that, we have a huge club, but we have enough people that are big supporters, and we have and people stay in the club. So I think for us, it's all about the wines and making sure that we can offer the best possible wines for people to enjoy, so that the wine is the main emphasis of being in the club, and not necessarily what's happening at the winery, since over the last year, we've had not a whole lot happening at the winery.
That's awesome. Well, here's some final notes on the wine that is being presented. 60% new French oak on that wine. 100% Malbec. And what is your total production as a winery?
Right now, we are between 5,300 and about 6,500, but we're actually looking at moving closer to the 5,300. We find that that's a nice number for us. We want to be able to spend time focusing on the wines and really, making sure that all of these varietals that we make are to the best of our possible, that we can produce these at our best, and having smaller lots, I think is a lot easier for us. So that's what we do.
With your proximity to the city, do you get a lot of visitors down from San Francisco, San Jose, or are they coming up more northern from the South?
No, we get a lot. We have a big following from the San Francisco and San Jose area. Yeah, I would say on a weekend when we're open, we always have at least a few visitors from North San Jose and the South San Francisco area. So it's not a long drive. And now that we are doing reservations, people know they can drive down here and they can secure a table and they can spend some time. And, having that personal attention with your tasting hosts now at your table, it's changed the dynamic of what people are able to experience when they're here. So it is a draw for people to actually drive now.
Any questions from the group watching the Zoom tonight? Happy to give you the floor. I really enjoy I'm trying to narrow down like a tasting note that I'd like to put forward and really kind of hone in on. I've just had a blood orange yesterday, and I get this kind of blood orange fruit along with some of that red character fruit, but that kind of blood orange in the nose, and that little cinnamon hint that you talked about too. I really get that towards the back of the palate, or the back of the nose, and really again that really wonderful mouthfeel. It was really difficult to do with this Grape Friday. I think you did wonderful work.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Good job. Wow. That was wine number one, and I can tell you right now that was necessary. It's been a week for me. We are getting ready to move our facility, which is about as much fun as taking a hammer to your toe. It's just really not something I'm looking forward to. I got about 700 boxes of wine to move that are not on a pallet, and so it's going to be a bloodbath here. It's going to be ugly. Let's hope nothing breaks. That's always a journey. We create a little kiddie pool for the people that are helping us move, and it's about, okay, here's the money that's in the pool. If nothing breaks, everybody gets to split this up. That's how we kind of try to make it work out. So we're going to move on to wine number two. I see some chat in the box. One of the questions is who's sitting behind me, and that's a common question if you haven't seen our Zoom before. Of course, I'm trying to build an audience, but it's an audience of two right now. That's Rex Pickett, the author of the movie Sideways, who got partying a little too hard down in Brazil and missed one of my Zooms. So I found out that he was going to miss it pretty late, and we printed off his face and put it on a kind of a cardboard cutout that I had, and I said he'd never miss one of my Zooms again. So, but Rex is a really fun guy, and I told him he appears in all of my Zooms, and I don't think he really understands what that means yet, but someday when he's back, we'll do another Zoom with Rex and tell him the story. I've told that story about 30 times. Of course, this little guy here keeps me safe, and we're enjoying him. Can't wait for the next set of shows to come out. Any other questions? Let's move on to Claude LaChance. Claude LaChance, how are you? Dan, I'm going to unmute you. I'm waiting. Who's going to talk for Claude LaChance? Wave if you're trying to talk.
I think you're looking for Jason.
Jason? Okay, you're trying to talk. All right, Jason. Thank you, buddy. There you are. Sorry, Jason. That's
all right. There we go.
I failed to hit my PowerPoint today. I didn't know who I was going to be talking to next.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for having us.
I'm glad you could be here. And where are we talking to you from today?
I am virtually in the barrel room.
All right.
But realistically, I'm in the office.
All right. That's good. I'm going to go right into that PowerPoint, try to keep us on point.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Great,
place
absolutely.
here. Tell us your story, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. So those of you who aren't familiar with Colachance Vineyards, located in the Santa Clara Valley, but we're actually in San Martin, which is kind of a unique microclimate kind of in between Morgan Hill and Gilroy. And kind of as Therese pointed out there, and with Satori next, there's so many really unique microclimates within Santa Clara Valley. We're all in our own little area. We're right on the valley floor. They're technically Santa Cruz Mountains, so they're up in the foothills there. Satori's on the east side, so it's really cool that we can bring all these wineries together and kind of showcase what Santa Clara Valley has to offer. All the varieties as well as all the microclimates and everything. Colachance was started in actually the late 1980s as a 3/4 acre backyard Chardonnay vineyard. The Murphy families started producing wine. They started having friends growing grapes in their backyard. They started producing more wine, and it kind of came together. And after producing wine in Saratoga for a little over a decade, they found their home in San Martin in the Santa Clara Valley. So as you guys actually sip along with me, I'll give you a little background on the Grenache, and then we'll jump into kind of all the stuff about Colachance itself. What you're tasting tonight is our Reserve Grenache. It is 100% estate grown on our property there. We have about 150 acres of estate vineyards planted to 18 different varietals. So we've got a lot of really fun players, a lot of really fun blenders that we get to turn into reserve wines. They only go to the tasting room. They only go to wine club. And they only show up when it's a great year. So you're not going to see a Reserve Grenache every year. You're only going to see it on a year when it's a rock star. Grenache is especially fun one for me on the property because it's one of our few blocks that are actually planted in an old world style. It's on head trained vines. The vines are just over 20 years old now, and it's a Noir clone. The Grenache is really unique to the Central Coast. Up and down the valley from Paso Robles up, you're going to find completely different Grenaches. You could taste a Grenache in Paso, and it might be this really huge, jammy, tannic, giant style of wine. But up in the Santa Clara Valley, we don't quite get the heat that they get. So we don't really get the same structure, the same thickness of the skins. We don't get the same grape, plain and simple. Grenache, for those of you who actually haven't held a Grenache cluster in your hand, Grenache clusters are huge. They look like table grapes. They look like a big, giant, Concord grape cluster. And the berries are really big as well. So what you have there is a really low skin to juice ratio. So when you're cold soaking it and you're producing this wine, there's not much tannins that you're really going to pull out of it. There's not a ton of color that you're really going to pull out of it unless you beat it up or you over extract it and you go over the top. So that's definitely not the style that we're producing with the Grenache that you're tasting there. It's much more elegant, much more lighter. The tannins are present, definitely varietally correct with your strawberries and your raspberries and a little white pepper and herbs. But more often than not, it's closer to a Pinot Noir than a Syrah as far as the style. So hope you guys enjoy that as I go through the rest here. But about Colachance, as I said, we have 150 acres of estate grown grapes. The Santa Clara Valley, as Trace also mentioned, is actually one of the oldest wine grape growing regions in the state. Back pre-Prohibition, there were missions growing grapes right in this very valley and was supplying wines for the entire state of California and the entire mission system. So it's really cool that there is that history behind it and that we're now revitalizing it with all of these newer wineries and growing it and adding wineries to it. As far as our facility goes, we do have our state-of-the-art winemaking facility on our property here, but one of the things that we're also absolutely well known for is our hospitality center and what we can provide. We have a tasting room as well as we do, I should say, we used to pre-COVID. We did country concerts. We do over 55 weddings a year as well as corporate events and all that. And as we've mentioned, we're a stone's throw from Silicon Valley and the city. So, we attract a lot of those customers and that clientele to come down and have corporate events and all of that kind of stuff. So we're not only a winemaking facility will also have a lot of the benefits of having that hospitality side of things. And
Very
I think
cool.
do we have more?
You got a couple more, I think. Yeah, just a couple of overviews. You got a couple different brand extensions and things.
Yeah, so this is kind of the overview of the whole Clos de Chance portfolio. We have, in your top right there, you'll see the Clos de Chance parent brand. That is what started this whole thing. But we have, what's really unique is on the bottom right there is we have another brand called Haze Valley, which is more in distribution that you guys will see out in the world. And pre-prohibition, the valley that we're actually in was called Haze Valley. And if you actually pull Clos de Chance up on Google Maps, it still says Haze Valley right down the valley. So it was really cool to be able to pay an homage to kind of where this valley used to be and be able to create a brand that showcases that and speaks to the place and the history of it. And then a couple other fun brands that we do with our rosé, which is a Colibri rosé, which is French for hummingbird. As you guys see, hummingbird is kind of a theme throughout our brands and our logo. And then one of our newer wines is a 22 Pirates Red blend, which is a really fun, kind of catchy Rhone style blend that has a good amount of the Grenache in it and a good amount of Syrah, and is a big, beefy, jammy, really fun wine.
Cool. Impressive resume of accolades, including a really extensive lineup of wines from the Wine Enthusiast there.
Yeah, and then that's just a little bit of some of the recent scores that we received kind of across all brands. And we do have a website that's got all of this stuff on there. It's real easy. It's just clos.com, CLOS.com. You can get tasting room appointments. You can find all these wines. You can buy them. You can check out a little bit about the hospitality, our team, our background, kind of all that fun stuff. So you can definitely check out the website and see all of this great information.
Excellent. I think I saw a little email going around about a discount code from you guys too. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. We're on the same train as Martin Ranch. Ours is just a simple SCV for Santa Clara Valley. You can enter that coupon code, and we're doing a 10% discount as well as free shipping. So you can go on, buy any of our wines, and it's valid for the next month. So you can buy some now, you can buy some next week, the week after, and it'll still be good. And on the wine club side, like Trace was mentioning, it actually works out really well. Their quarterly shipments start in January. Ours start in February. So you can be a wine club of all of ours. So you get it in February and May, and you got it. So you can join them all, and you will get a case for 3 bottles or 6 bottles or what have you every month.
Jason, how long have you been the winemaker for Clos?
Yeah, I've been with Clos for just over 14 years now. Before that, I spent some time in Australia making wine down in the Paso area, and a little bit up in Sonoma as well before that. But I'm originally from Santa Cruz. I'm originally from this area. So I knew eventually I would set down roots here, and I found Clos de Chance and have been there ever since.
How cool. So I think I heard you say that this is not the big style of Grenache, and I wanted to make sure we were tasting the same one, because I think this wine's really big and spicy and really got some holy moly to it.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to the winemaking side of things, especially in our Rhone program, with our Grenache, less is more for me. On the actual winemaking side of things, this is one of the few varietals that we actually have that goes into an open top tank. And for those of you that don't know much about the fermentation process, as fermentation happens and your skins, your seeds, your juice, everything's in the tank, the skins naturally rise to the top. And what you need to do is get that reincorporated somehow, so it doesn't spoil, it doesn't oxidize, it doesn't turn into vinegar. And one of those methods is called a punch down. And with an open top tank, you punch it down. Whereas with a closed top tank, you do something like a pump over, where you actually pump the juice through a pump over the top. And so it's a way to have a little bit softer of extraction. And so we do that with this because we don't want to over extract it. We want to be sure that it's a little bit toned back and it's not too over the top, because as I mentioned earlier, you taste some of the Grenaches down in the Paso area or some other regions, and they can be just way too over the top, almost like a Petit Syrah, and extremely tannic and extremely jammy. And, that's definitely not the style that we go for, especially utilizing, the Santa Clara Valley, which is, not quite as hot. It's a lot more subtle. The skins don't get as thick, and we can create a little bit softer of a style of Grenache.
Well, I think it's a beautiful wine, but it is definitely wakes you up. This thing has got some character to it and some power and intensity. And what's the difference between, say, your regular Grenache and Reserve? What are you looking for, and what do you do to it to make it a Reserve?
Right. Well, actually, this is the only Grenache that we produce. The Grenache doesn't go into any other programs. But yeah, as far as the Reserve program, I kind of touched on it earlier, but what's really unique is we have all of these different varietals. We have the 18 different varietals. Every year we don't make 18 different Reserve wines. We pick the best of the best from that year. Some years it's a Malbec, a Petit Verdot, a Cap Franc, a Zinfandel, what have you. But it's only the years where it's a Rockstar. Other years it'll go into wines like the 22 Pirates Red Blend or a different, estate tiered red wine. And only on years when it's like this, it's a Rockstar, it goes into the Reserve package.
Cool. Lisa, you pulling out the gun show there? Is that what that is? It's good timing. This has got some really good muscle and intensity. Jason, you got a question? Let me see if I can help you. There you go, buddy.
Yeah, I was just say, I actually made my first Grenache this year from down at the dinner vineyard in Paso. So I was super worried myself because I got a lot of advice from other winemakers down in that area, just all over the place about making Grenache, and I was super worried about actually making this crazy over the top tannic, Grenache. So this is actually really pretty. I totally enjoy it. I think it's fantastic wine, and I'm pumped to start getting into the Grenache game myself and all that. So good job, man. This is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I was going to come back around, Jason, and ask you some questions. Are you involved with any of these brands, or just curious?
Which Jason? Is that me?
Jason Moore. Sorry, yeah, Jason Moore.
Right.
Sometimes Jason's. I find out Jason's involved in consulting and doing some stuff.
No, none of these. I'm just curious. I'm making my way down the coast, and so I'm making wines all the way down to Happy Canyon and Santa Barbara now, from Napa down all the way down there. So cool. Yeah, just curious and wanted to try some new stuff. And I get the Merchant of Wine emails every single day. So it's all good, man. And I've been a friend of yours for how long now? Probably. At least 10 plus years, bud.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when you started making Gentleman Farmer.
Yeah.
But then your own brands up there in Napa doing really well. So
yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, bud.
I'm glad you like Jason's wine. So do I. And Jason, can you repeat one more time for my slow attention span? What was the price of this Grenache?
This is $40 in the tasting room retail.
Very nice. Really, really good. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to have a referral site for people that are looking for a wedding location now, too. That is obviously one of your fortes there with the 55 weddings a year. You guys not enough Saturdays in the year, I guess.
Exactly. Luckily, that's the other side. That's not me. That's the other side. I'll let them in.
Yeah, but that's a good cash position for the establishment to keep you fully funded there. That's cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed wine number 2. A really beautiful Grenache, and that's 2 wines up and 2 beautiful products. The Martins are giving you some claps there too. So we've got Malbec and Grenache, and now we're going to taste some Cabernet. So we're going to go to Satori.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm
Hi.
Sandy, and this is Tom. And we are Satori, S-A standing for Sandy, T-O for Tom, and R-I for our son, Riley. And it actually also means a taste of enlightenment. So that's what we're doing here today. A little taste of enlightenment.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And we are outside in our vineyard, and it's such a beautiful day. That's our new portal. Yeah, our new entrance since COVID. We decided to build a brand new way for people to enter our outdoor wine tasting room. So for us, now that we're back into being open, it was easy because we're completely outdoors and fun. So we let's see, where do I want to start? So 2006, yes, we've been celebrating the journey. Tom and I started the winery not because it was our grand dream or some amazing goal. It was literally our property called us to it. We own a 20-acre ranch in the Santa Clara Valley, which I always like to call the countryside for the Silicon Valley. It's so beautiful here, and we have such amazing, we're so close to the action, so to speak. And so we live it was farming land, and my husband was engineer and I worked in the operating room. So we had day jobs, but the happiest I ever saw him was when he was on a tractor. And so when we got that letter from the county that basically said, what are you going to grow? We thought grapevines looked pretty, and we've always loved wine. But it was sort of our entryway. And so we backed into it, which is a fun way to do it. And and we've been doing ever since. So we're all estate, 20 acres. We grow all red grapes. Oh, there we are. We have lots of dogs. You might hear them barking, or you may have seen them on the screen. 11 dogs, actually, 2 horses and a bunch of cats.
Nice.
So we're a small boutique winery. I guess our claim to fame is that we balance, Tom and I, the yin and the yang. I'm the vibe master and he's the wine master. And so we love to have parties, and we love to create a great way for people to come together and enjoy the great outdoors and the fruits of, we hate to call it labor, we like to call it play. And so we encourage a different type of gathering, which is more of like a community of fun. And yet I always say, thank God the wine's good, because it's both. So we produce about 2,000 cases a year, so we're even smaller, and it's plenty for us. We don't sell commercially or distribution, couple restaurants maybe in town, but our big emphasis is on our wine club and our visitors that come here. So we kind of handle things a little bit more laid back than a lot of the wineries, but that's what makes up this whole wonderful region, is that we're all so different, and yet we are all equally amazing in our own right.
Help each other out.
Yeah, and like Therese said,
it's wonderful.
I'm on the board for the Santa Clara Wineries Association, and it's really one of the things that we're really wanting to draw more attention to us, because we deserve it. It's like this great wine region that people still haven't quite found or know where it is, and yet we're right here. And as Jason said, it's the oldest wine region in California, way before there was a Napa Valley, etc. So we're reemerging, we're paying our dues, we're bringing people. Certainly our own community has welcomed us and love all of the wineries, and we're reaching out beyond our Bay Area roots. And so the Cabernet, which Tom can talk about. And we have funny names. That's kind of our style. I always said, I want to do this winery if we can have a lot of fun with it. So that's kind of our vibe is, whimsical, playful, colorful, fun, and we balance it with integrity and awesomeness of the wine. sustainability and everything. But yeah, you want to talk about the Cabernet? People are probably wanting to drink it.
Yeah, drink it.
I am.
Yeah. Cabernet Sauvignon, the blue hand, the name kind of funny, comes from, the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar. Yeah. Of course you knew that. But it comes from the Mayan calendar. And I happen to be in the tribe of the blue hand, which we kind of find funny because when you rack wine or you work with wine a lot, your hands kind of come out dark.
Purplish blue.
Purple, yeah. So anyway,
but
that's where that came.
And it also means the earth and heart. And so that really was resonating for Tom with this specific wine, because Cabernet is not always the easiest wine to make, right? I mean, is it the berries? Lots of little berries.
It's easier than Zinfandel.
Easier than Zinfandel, which is,
Anyway, it's two different clones, 337 and 8. It's two different trellising systems and 3 different blocks. So it's kind of one of the things I like to do in the winemaking thing is mix it all up. So we have those variations, so they all ripen at different times. They were planted at different times. And then, when we age them in barrels, I like to use a huge variety of mix of barrels, different cooperages, and a little bit of American oak, not much for the Cab Sauv, but probably 10%, and mostly French oak. And I don't know, that's about it.
Yeah, and we always have fun things on our labels. So we sort of try to get the whole package from the outer label to even the seal top with the spiral on it, and color coordinated with our, you probably can't see it now, but this is Zinfandel behind us. And so when we take people on our vineyard tours, all of the ends of the posts of each grapevine is color coordinated with what wine is growing on that vine. So we can, we sometimes have treasure hunts where there's wine out there and we take people out there and then we'll taste different wines and see if they can guess what it is. And yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's our name of the game. And how many, we have 13 different wines we make, right? Well,
yes.
Well, because some are blends, yeah.
Yes, and some are every now and then, but
yeah.
But first, as small as we are, we have a lot of different wines.
Yeah. And this Cabernet though is 100% Cabernet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed looking through your website and some of the materials that you guys had. You've got, obviously look like you're in it to have a good time and get everybody involved.
Yes, we do. We do our whole harvest with volunteers, and from wine club members to friends to family, people fly out to be part of that experience. And even during COVID, we were able to actually do it with our masks on and safely. And we our tagline is really celebrating the journey, because the journey of life. There's one of our dogs. And our exchange student from Italy. So yeah, we are really about people and enjoying tasting wine, growing wine, drinking wine. Our horses, there's Wonder, get to live in the vineyard and help us mow our grass they're out there. We just had to put them away, but
do a little bit of fertilizing.
Yeah, they do a little fertilizing until the grapes start to come, and then I have to find a new place for them for a few months. But
I remember Sandy said, no, horses don't eat grapes. And it was like right on cue. Sonny, the biggest horse, he came up, his whole face was purple.
Yeah. And he just smiled at Tom, and I went, uh-oh. But we managed to make it work. Yeah, we do. There's some of our color schemes. You can see we're sort of the Google of the wineries with all of our colors, and we do art classes and just kind of try to keep it beautiful and fun and and inviting. People love to come here. It is true. And like Therese was saying, that during COVID, we were so thankful for our wine club members, because boy, they sure did help keep it going. It was a real testament to, since they couldn't really have the vibe was the wine gonna kind of sustain everybody? And it really did. And not just the wine, but really the relationships that we built with people who come here. And we're sort of the winery that people always say, oh, you got to go to Satori, because it's just a unique experience all around. And oh yeah, thank you. The welcome sign, yes, that is out front. It stays out there. And and you know, Tom's the winemaker. I don't really have anything to do with that. I'm the energy of attraction of people, and and getting the community together and coming out. And we have live music. People love music. We support musicians and artists, and you know, we're artists in our own way. And yeah, we're just having a good time. We've had our careers before, and so I mean, we're serious about this. This is our business.
So let's just finish with that.
Which part?
So
oh yeah.
We don't have like an online ordering system because I'm just like a computer. I don't like computers, but I do have a phone. So if you want anything, we'll do the 10%, the free shipping, all like that. But you just
we have a slogan. It's just call Tom.
Yeah.
And you know, we just call Tom. Pick up
done.
your wine. He gets it done. He's such a good. Don't call me. I won't answer my phone, or I'll forget.
She's terrible, but I'm really good at it. It's on the website, but it's 408-921-2786, and I'll go out the next day, so no problem.
408-921-2786.
That's it.
All right. I'll put that in the recap as well. And they just call you, and they call the fun line, and they say 10% off and free shipping.
Yep.
That sounds good to us. That sounds good.
And that goes for the whole whatever. If they want something else, I don't care.
Yeah, all of our wines. We make, one of the things Jason was saying, which is, you know, one of the things I think we specialize in, actually, because we're on the east side, is big, bold, tannic wines. So we're known for, you know, not just our Cab, that's what he picked today, but our Petit Syrah, our Syrah, our tons of Zinfandels that we do 4 different clones of Zinfandels, our Cab Franc, Merlot, even our Merlot is big, bold. And so we sort of get that afternoon sun.
Well, maybe your claim to fame could be, you know, we make wine that helps you grow great facial hair, like Tom. They both got good hair. So that's this is juicy and dense and fleshy and really inviting, and I could see having a lot of fun drinking a lot of this wine. So really tasty. And actually, I have a wine cellar client down here in Los Angeles, and I'm carving through the cellar, and I found a couple of your bottles in their cellar, and I had to like look really carefully at it. I'm like, wow, that is the most colorful label I've ever seen. And it's just such a small world that you're on this Zoom tonight, because I had not tasted your wine. I had not met you before, but bringing the wine to this event just kind of ties everything together. It connects everything. I'm supposed to have you here, and I'm really glad that you are. So wonderful to meet you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jason, for setting this up. And it's a great area here for people to come visit and check us out.
Sounds like fun. Have any of you on the Zoom tonight been up into the Santa Clara Wine Valley to taste yourselves? Well, there you go. We can get some more of us involved and get more of us up there. We all probably go to the same haunts often, and this is a really nice track. If you want to come and take a look at a couple of things I found, and maybe the winemakers can help weigh in. A couple restaurants in the neighborhood that are highly thought of, at least by Yelp, which you have to discount a little bit. But any of these any good, guys? These are the ones that are listing in the top 10 in your area, but that might just be how much.
No, we've got
One of the
some.
things
You got the wrong area.
Yeah, we've got some great, downtown Morgan Hill is where you want to look for some good restaurants. These are not really in our area, but downtown Morgan Hill has a very, very nice selection of good restaurants. And you probably aren't, Maurizio's, that's one of them, Ladera Grill. There you go.
How you doing?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. You just pulled them all up.
Okay.
They're all great. Yeah. There you go.
It's the whole area
Yeah, I'll
down here is just growing so amazing.
definitely-
It's just
You got it, Sandy. You were saying exactly what I was about to say. Is this area, compared to 10 years ago or 15 years ago when I started, making wine in this valley, it has changed so much, and there's so many new restaurants and new, stores, and just the downtown Morgan Hill area is just becoming such a unique little, small town feel, while still having a little bit, upscale food, as well as a little bit more for, bang for your buck. So there's a really cool scene going on in downtown Morgan Hill just as of late.
And let me see if I found, these might pull us up a little too far. Maybe I should say Morgan Hill hotels, but
Well, that's something we're getting to get a little bit better at. I think we've got a good one coming. Mohai is building a hotel in downtown Morgan Hill. And then we just have the regular types of hotels. So I think people could really benefit by VRBOs and Airbnbs, because that, I know we have some very nice ones in the Morgan Hill and San Martin area that are not overly priced either.
And I will have to shout out our neighbors. If you want to spend a pretty penny, right next door to us is the Cordoval Golf Resort and Spa and all of that. And it's gorgeous. It has one of the nicest golf courses in California. The rooms are amazing. It's not cheap, I'll say that. But if you're looking for a little more upscale, a little spend, it's beautiful.
awesome.
Yeah, we had our honeymoon there. It's wonderful. It's really special to have a place like that right here.
Well, we've got a lot of talent on the Zoom tonight. Does anyone want to ask any questions of any kind?
I just want to say how much we've enjoyed all three wines. It's been, I don't know anything about the Santa Clara area at all. So again, Ian, thank you for inviting me to this, because this is all brand new. And I got to say, the Grenache just rocked.
They all
It was just beautiful. They all did, but the Grenache was my favorite tonight.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Excellent. I'm really pleased that we were able to come together tonight. I wanted to learn something new and meet some new folks. We do a lot of events with wineries all over the world, and it's really neat to be able to get outside of our comfort zone a little bit and meet some new friends. So we thank you for giving us this chance, and I feel like I've taken a little spiritual vacation here for the evening, and it's been really cool. I want to share a couple of things that we have coming up, and I want to thank my friend Jason Moore from Napa Valley for joining us tonight. By the way, I give him a little plug. He makes some pretty damn awesome wine, and he's a consultant winemaker in many different places, and so thank you, Jason, for joining us. But we just had the Napa Valley on a Zoom recently, and that went really well. And then coming up in the very near term, this Saturday, we're down in Paso, kind of doing a similar type of a tasting, going from Thatcher to Law Estate to Hammer Sky. And that's this Saturday, and we'll have all three of the winemakers on for that. Next Wednesday, my favorite Chianti Classico producer, Sarah Gardy, is going to be on the Zoom. That's the name of the brand. The family's been making Chianti Classico for over 600 years. And so they're going to be on the Zoom with us next week.
Is the
And And we're doing this really crazy tasting of vintage Bordeaux, 89 versus 09. All 100 pointers, by the way. That's what they've got in common. They're not four of the same producer or anything. Just comparing how 100 point wines are tasting, with a little time in the bottle and having a fun time pulling together an audience that might appreciate that. We're going to go down to the Central Coast to hang out with one of the coolest Pinot producers in the business, James Antavaris with Native 9. He's the 9th generation, and we're going to have a vertical tasting 2012, 13, and 14. Then we'll visit Monterey County on the 17th. We'll be announcing those wineries in the next day or two. And then our big event for April is the Stars of Italian Wine, which is something we actually promote on our new Learn About Wine website, which is just now launched. And what we'll be doing for the considerable future is pushing our Zoom classes over here at Learn About Wine. But at Learn About Wine, we've got this beautiful new Shopify store with some really awesome wineries. All the producers are going to be on the Zoom from Italy. And we've got some top efforts, whether it's Barolo, Chianti, Super Tuscan. We're going down to Sardinia and traveling all over for 2 different nights with just an epic lineup of wineries. You could do those events for $50 per event for the tasting. There's a combo that's $95 for both. So we're trying to create a lot of value and have a lot of fun and pull people together from all over the place. If any of our events look good to you, please join us. We do events every Wednesday, every Saturday, and then on Sundays we have the Learn About Wine classes, and that keeps us pretty busy around here, besides running our Merchant of Wine wine store, where we deliver complimentary wine delivery in Los Angeles and $10 delivery anywhere in the state of California. So we hope that you guys will join us for that. And we also just, with our new venue that we're moving to, we're able to upgrade our license, and now we'll actually be able to ship out of the state. And that's going to be awesome, with better shipping rates and some really, maybe the only time we get something from out of state is when someone sees a bottle of wine that they have to have because our shipping is punitive out of the state. But it's about to get a lot better. So we're excited about that. And check out Merchant of Wine for everything we got going on. It's been a really fun ride tonight. I thank you guys for joining us for this virtual tour. And I'd love to hear your feedback and comments. And I'll be sending out an email. So please respond. And wineries, I want to thank you for your generosity of your time and the wonderful wines getting into us all. And we hope that you get buku support in return for sharing all these stories. We'll make sure that our audience knows about the discount codes that you provided, and give Tom a call and just say hi. He seems like a really cool guy to talk to on the phone. Thanks, everybody. You have a good night now. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, ciao.
Thanks, Ian.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Jason Moore.
All right, buddy. Good night.
See you, bro.
Thank you.
Good
It was
night.
awesome.
Thank you, Ian.
Absolutely awesome.
Thank you, Ian.
You guys, thank you. Fun to have you.
It was really good to see you, Ian. You take care.
I hope you and John will join us again soon.
Well, Wednesdays we might be able to do something. Saturdays we're generally working. So, because, we work at a winery too.
I know.
Yeah. In fact, your dad is a member of our winery.
Awesome. You're seeing Papa Blackburn, are you?
Yeah. I see him more than I see you.
That's probably true. So you see him more than I see him too.
I know. You take care.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you.